How's it going, y'all? It's Gridiron Girls. Josh here. Got a top 32 quarterbacks for you here. Going to rank them for all 32 teams for 2019 NFL season. All right, let's get going. All right, number one right now, that's where I got Andrew Luck. Last season, he had 4,593 yards, 39 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. His team's been adding talent over the offseason, and that's why I got him at number one right now. And, he's got T.Y. Hilton on the outside. He's added Devin Funchess with a 1-year, $13 million deal. I expect him to get him used early and often. They got Eric Ebron at tight end, double-digit touchdowns last year. They got Jack Doyle coming back. Got Chester Rogers in the slot. I think they still got Zach Pascal. Had a rookie last year, Deion Kane. He might be coming back. They got some guys over there. He's got Marlon Mack. Nyheim Hines is a great receiving running back. I look for Andrew Luck to be a top 3 quarterback easily. All right, number 2, that's where I got Mahomes right now. I had to slide him down a little bit with the Tyreek Hill news. That really does worry me. Last season, Mahomes had 5,097 passing yards, 50 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, and a couple rushing touchdowns with it. And the thing is with Mahomes is they lost a lot of talent over there. They lost Kareem Hunt. We got the news with Tyreek Hill. We don't know if he's going to play or not. They a couple of their backup receivers, Demarcus Robinson and DeAnthony Thomas. DeAnthony Thomas got caught marijuana possession in the offseason, so that's not looking good for him. And then another receiver, another one of their backups, their slot receiver from last year, Chris Conley, in free agency, he just went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So now you're looking at possibly Demarcus Robinson and Sammy Watkins. So, them are guys to keep an eye on, not right there too. Clearly, they got Travis Kelce, best tight end in the league. Damian Williams, a running back, and Darrell Williams, Spencer Ware, a few other guys back there. But the thing is, without Tyreek Hill, that's a whole different team out there. So that worries me a little bit on Mahomes. All right, number 3, Aaron Rodgers. Last season, 4,442 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. That's the best touchdown-interception ratio in the league last year. Hands down, by far, 25-2. That's pretty awesome. It's just disappointing that he only had 25 touchdowns. And, hopefully a little more chemistry with them young receivers, and they'll be a little better this year. They let Randall Cobb go in free agency, so he must be feeling pretty good about the situation. He's got Devontae Adams, clearly one of the best receivers in the league. He's number 1. Other than that, he's got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Emmanuel St. Brown, Jake Kumerow. He's got some rookies from last year, and Geronimo Allison coming back from injury. Aaron Rodgers always finds a way to make something happen, so I still got him at number 3. All right, number 4, that's where I got Deshaun Watson. Last season, 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 4,165 yards, plus he's a scrambling quarterback. He's got arguably the best 3 receiver combo in the league. Arguably, you could say the Rams, or you could say a few others, but in my opinion, I prefer the Houston is for a 3 wide receiver combo, and that's DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller, and Kiki Kuti, and that's a nasty combo right there. And then he's got Lamar Miller, a running back. He can catch some balls out of the backfield. At tight end, they got Ryan Griffin, Jordan Thomas, Jordan Atkins, a few guys that they got some decent tight ends. It's just they're not going to be good for fantasy because they don't just use one. They kind of bring them in and out, All right, there's top 4. All right, at number 5 right now, I got Matt Ryan. And last season, Matt Ryan had 35 touchdowns with 7 interceptions, 4,924 yards. Them are pretty solid numbers underneath the radar there. He's got 3 real good receivers in Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Mohamed Sanu. He's still got Austin Hooper in the slot, or Austin Hooper at tight end. They lost Tevin Coleman to free agency. They got Edo Smith and Devontae Freeman coming back. Not for sure about Freeman's health. They'll probably end up drafting a running back. He's still got 3 real solid receiving weapons, and I was looking into the schedule this year, and they play, I can't remember if it's 11 or 12 games inside of a dome this year. That's a lot of inside fast action for Matt Ryan. They don't have a running game. Their defense isn't the greatest. He's going to have to sling the rock, so I got Matt Ryan number 5. All right, number 6, I got Baker Mayfield there. The team's looking a lot better. We all know they're making strides over there. Last season, Baker played 14 games. He started 13 of them. He had 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. He had 37 or 39? Can't even read my own handwriting. Well, he had almost 4,000 yards. Not bad for 13 games started. And they picked up Odell Beckham in the offseason. They still have Landry in the slot. They got Njoku. They got a 3-headed monster running back. They, Chubb, Hunt, and Duke Johnson. Hunt's out the first 7 or 8 games. They got Antonio Callaway over there. They lost Rashard Perriman, ended up going to Tampa Bay. So they got Callaway, Rashard Higgins, Landry, Odell Beckham, Damian Ratley. They got Derek Willis, They drafted a couple guys last year. They got a slew of guys over there for Baker to get the ball to, so I got him at 6 for now. All right, number 7, Drew Brees. Last season, he only played 15 games. He threw 36 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, 4,542 yards. Them are great numbers. A lot of people are kind of not appreciating what he did last year. Kind of look at him like a down year, but he had 36 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. That's good numbers. And, you know, he's going to throw to his running back a lot. Depending on Drew Brees, no matter where he's ever played, he's always used the running backs. Back when he was in San Diego, he threw it to LT, and LT ran. Plus, he still had time to throw to Darren Sproles or Danny Woodhead. You know what I'm saying? No matter who, Brees is always going to get the ball to a running back. And then Michael Thomas, and I mean, Brees is going to get the ball to somebody somehow. He's going to get touchdowns every year. Number 7, Drew Brees. Number 8, Russell Wilson. Last year, the thing is that Russell Wilson, how many passes did he throw last year? I was going to write this down here for you. Russell Wilson last year he completed 280 out of 427 pass attempts, 36 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Now Matt Ryan, 422 out of 608 for 35 and 7. So Russell Wilson, 427 attempts. Matt Ryan, 608 attempts. Russell Wilson, 36 touchdowns. Matt Ryan, 35. Russell Wilson had a hell of a season last year. He just didn't throw the ball a whole lot. And to have 36 touchdowns and 7 interceptions with that's pretty impressive. He only had 3,681 yards, and he had 36 touchdowns. These other guys that got 35, 36 touchdowns had almost 5,000 yards each. So Russell Wilson, pound for pound, he was getting down last year. All right, number 9, Phillip Rivers. That's where I got him right now. Last year he had 35 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 4,799 yards. Every year he's going to come out and do the same thing. He's never going to wow you. He's going to get you about 20 points a week. And I don't see anything changing, so I got Rivers at number 9. And over there right now, they lost Tyrell Williams in free agency. Hopefully they got Hunter Henry for a season now. Hopefully, if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a good addition for them. They got Mike Williams, big Mike Williams, rookie receiver last year, double-digit touchdowns, big body, big nasty guy. Then you got Keenan Allen, veteran over there. They still got Travis Benjamin in the slot too, and then you got Eckler's a good receiving back. You still got Gordon. He's a good all-around back. You know, Justin Jackson. They got some guys over there. All right, number 10, Jameis Winston is who I got number 10 right now. Last season, he played 11 games. He started 9 of them. He had just a little under 3,000 yards. He threw 19 touchdowns and 14 picks. So his touchdown-interception ratio is not very good there. It's not very good at all. But the thing is he did only start 9 games. He only played 11, and I mean, Tampa Bay's not going to run the ball real good. They're not going to be out there beating anybody. I wouldn't imagine to where they're just running the ball, running the clock out. They're going to have to sling the ball. They're going to have to play from behind, try to come back and win. I think Winston's going to be decent. He's going to throw some picks, going to turn the ball over, but he's still going to throw for 350 to 400 yards a lot of weeks, and he's going to have a couple touchdowns doing it. All right, number 11, I got Big Ben there right now. You know, Big Ben last year led the league in passing yards. He had 5,129 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. And, you know, he slings that ball around. See, the thing is, a lot of people kind of down on Big Ben this year because AB's gone, and I understand that. But before AB was there, and after AB's gone, Roethlisberger, as long as he can still get up in the morning, put his cleats on, then he's going to be out there slinging that ball around. Before AB, you know, he threw the ball to, we had Plexico Burrs for a year. Santonio Holmes, he tore him up. Hines Ward, Antonio Randall, Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, he's made a lot of receivers. He made a name for a lot of receivers. And, you know, Antonio Brown wouldn't have been who he is without Ben Roethlisberger. I guarantee you that. And he's still got some weapons over there. He's going to make plays. I got Big Ben number 11. All right, number 12 right now, that's where I got Tom Brady. And last year, actually, he was ahead of Ben Roethlisberger in passing yards for the whole season when you count the playoffs. But for the regular season, Roethlisberger got him. But Brady was over 5,000 yards. He had 31 touchdowns, 14 picks. He had a couple rushing touchdowns. It's just the old veteran Tom Brady. He's getting a little bit older. Doesn't throw the deep ball as good. But I'm not counting him out. I'm still going to slide him in there at 12. Friend starting quarterback. And don't need to tell you anything more about the guy than you already know. Number 13, that's where we got Cam right now, Cam Newton. And we're not sure if he's going to come back. All the reports say that he's progressing good and looking all right, and he's probably going to be back. Last year he played 14 games. He had about 3,400 passing yards, about almost 500 rushing yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. So, he's a versatile guy out there. And hopefully Cam's out there because they're not the same offense without him. All right, number 14, right now that's where I got Lamar Jackson. He played 16 games last season, but he only started 7 of them. So you seen that even before he took over as a starter, they made sure he hit the field every game. All right, he had 1,395 passing yards, which that's not a lot for 7 games. That's under 200 passing yards per game, just a touch under. And he had 8 passing touchdowns with 4 interceptions. So at least he wasn't throwing a lot of picks there. He did fumble the ball a lot, though. He definitely did fumble the ball a lot. But he also had 749 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. And, them were running back numbers. And over there right now, they lost John Brown. And it doesn't look like they're signing Crabtree. They signed Willie Snead. They locked him back up. And then, they picked up Mark Ingram. And they got Kenneth Dixon and Gus Edwards over there. But the thing is, at tight end over there, I see them running a real heavy set this year. I mean, they could have like a one-of-a-kind type of offense out there. They have they got Hunter Henry, they got Nick Boyle, they got Mark Andrews, they got Max Williams, they got 4 bad motherfucking tight ends for real. I mean, that's pretty rare. They can come out there and just pound the ball down somebody's throat. And the thing is, the number 1's going to be Andrews, number 2's Hurst. Them 2 guys are probably going to be on the field a lot. But the thing is, their number 3 tight end, Nick Boyle, he was a free agent, and they just didn't let him go. They just paid him a few $1 million to bring him back instead of letting somebody else have him. And that's their 3rd tight end. So they're planning on getting heavy this year. And then their 4th tight end, Max Williams, I mean, he's a gamer too. If he was playing on a different team, he'd be a number 2 tight end on a different team. He's just a number 4 for the Ravens. All right, we'll move on here. That was number 14. Number 15, that's where I got Jimmy Garoppolo right now. He only played 3 games last year, and if you looked at how he started the season, he had to play the Chicago Bears, he had to play the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, can you start out the season any worse than that? So he played the 3 games, he got hurt, he threw 718 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, and Goodwin wasn't out there, Goodwin was hurt, and McKinnon went down before the season started, so he was already coming out there half-manned than what he was expecting, and he still almost threw for, a couple 200-300 yards a game, about a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio against the Bears and Vikings defense. That's not very easy. Well, this year, Pettis has got 1 more year under his belt. I think he's going to be pretty good. And then you got Kittle. They got McKinnon and Breida and Tevin Coleman at running back now. You got Pettis and Goodwin out there, Kendrick Bourne at receiver. He's got some weapons, and Jimmy Garoppolo knows how to run an offense. He learned from Tom Brady. I like what I've seen at him. I'm not trying to crown him the champ. He's probably getting paid a little more than he should at this point, but I like what I've seen out of him. He's a scrappy guy. He knows how to read an offense, and that's why I got him at number 15. All right, number 16 right now, that's where I got Josh Allen. Last season, he played 12 games. He threw for 2,074 yards. He threw 10 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, so that's not very good. But the thing is them touchdowns were deep balls when he threw them, and here's the kicker. He ran for 631 yards and 8 touchdowns, and we all know that him and Lamar Jackson were pretty wild out there running last year. But, he's got a long ways to go there. He's a flashy guy, but he's got a long ways to go. He was through more interceptions than touchdowns last year. But you see, they just added, they had Robert Foster was number 1 last year, and they got Zay Jones. And then last year they had Charles Clay and Jason Kroom at tight end. They let Clay go to free agency, and he ended up going to Arizona Cardinals. And so now they picked up Tyler Crofts. They got Croft and Kroom at tight end, and then at wide receiver, they still got Zay Jones, Robert Foster. They picked up John Brown in free agency. They picked up Cole Beasley. And then at running back, they picked up Frank Gore. So then they got Gore and LaShawn McCoy and Marcus Murphy over there at running back. So he's got some weapons. I think he could be pretty good, really. And he's a guy that, you draft as your second quarterback off the board. And he could pull a Mahomes on you last year. He could be that guy. But I wouldn't expect it. I'd draft him as my second guy and hope for the best. All right, number 17, that's where I got Dak Prescott. And last year he threw for 4,377 yards, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Them were actually pretty decent numbers. And to add on to that, he ran for 337 yards, 8 touchdowns. And, Dak's getting better. He's not very good at throwing the deep ball accuracy. He's not very good at that, but he's good at, comebacks, hitches, crossing routes, out routes. He's slants. He's good at, he's good at timing routes, short routes. He's good at that. When Cooper came to him last year, when Cooper got traded to the Cowboys, the whole offense started coming together there. Zeke was about a top 3 back from the time that Cooper came to the end of the season. Zeke Elliott was moved up to top 5 back easily, and Cooper was a pretty decent receiver there, and they still got Gallup over there. They lost Beasley, but they brought Jason Witten back, and they picked up another receiver. I can't remember who it was. Oh, yeah, Randall Cobb. Yeah, they got rid of Beasley. They slid Randall Cobb in, so they're going to be all right over there. All right, number 18, that's where I got Kirk Cousins. Last year, 4,298 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 10 picks. So I know that we all kind of feel like, and everybody's kind of bashing him, kicking him, hitting him in the ribs a few times. That's not a bad season. For everybody saying that Kirk Cousins had a bad season last year, 4,300 yards, 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, plus he ran for over 100 yards in a touchdown. That's not bad. And the thing is you got to think about it here, fellas. We got Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. Everybody and their mama is ranking both them guys as top 15 receivers. How are we going to have 2 top 15 receivers if their quarterback's trash? It's not going to happen. So I probably have him ranked too low myself. I probably need to move him up myself. All right, number 19, that's where I got Derek Carr. Last year he threw for 4,050 yards. He had 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, ran for a touchdown. And last season, Raiders didn't have the greatest weapons in the world, and they traded Cooper early. And so this year you're looking at, they picked up Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams, and it doesn't look like they're going to sign Jared Cook. They've got a lot of draft picks, probably going to draft a tight end, maybe that Fant or Hawkinson, or probably draft a running back or 2. He's got some weapons over there. He usually completes about 68% of passes for his career. He's good at hitting the short passes, and Antonio Brown and Tyrell's good guys for breaking tackles, yards after the catch. I think Carr's got some upside this year. All right, number 20, that's where I got Andy Dalton right now. And last season, he only played 11 games. He threw for 2,566 yards. He threw for 21 touchdowns and 11 picks. That's pretty good for 11 games. 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions in 11 games. That's not bad. And he's another guy there that we shouldn't underestimate too much because he's got 2 receivers that we're counting on too. You know, we're everybody's ranking AJ as a top 15 receiver. Tyler Boyd is a top 20 receiver, top 25 at the latest, you know. So we're expecting big things out of these 2 receivers. You know, Andy Dalton's going to be the guy throwing the ball. All right, number 21, that's where I got Matt Stafford last year, 3,777 yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 picks, just like Andy Dalton, but he played all 16 games. That shows you right there that Andy Dalton put some work in for 11 games. But Stafford last year, they was really struggling. Kerryon Johnson went down on him. Golden Tate got traded away. They thought they had 3 good receivers with Jones and Galladay and Tate, so they was like, figured they'd trade Tate away. They trade Tate away, and then everybody else on the team gets hurt. And Jones is hurt, and Kerryon was hurt. So Stafford was out there throwing it to tight end Michael Roberts and throwing it to Kenny Galladay all day, and Theo Riddick, and trying to hit Brandon Powell, T.J. Jones. So this should be a lot better for Stafford this year. I think he's got some upside being that late too. All right, number 22, that's where I got Wentz. He played 11 games last year. 3,074 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 7 picks. That's a 3-to-1 touchdown ratio. That's not bad there, and can run around a little bit too. He's just kind of a scrappy guy. They lost some weapons over there. He's still got a couple of the best tight ends in the league with Ertz, and Goddard's a good backup tight end. And then he's got Jeffrey. He's got Nelson Aguilar. He's still got some guys over there. And Wentz could throw 40 touchdowns on a good season. You know, I'm not counting him out. I got him at 22 right now. All right, at 23, that's where Jared Goff's at. 5,400 yards last year, 33 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 130 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. That's not bad for Jared Goff. There's another guy there that's a lot of yards. That 5,400, them yards is counting into the postseason is what it is. And the thing is that everybody's expecting Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, all these guys to be good and fancy, useful receivers. If they're going to be, that means that Jared Goff's going to have to be a pretty good fancy quarterback too. But I'm on the latter end of that. I'm not really. I think the Rams are going to struggle a tad bit this year. I don't think they're going to be terrible, but I don't think they're going to be as dominant as they were last year. And I'll just leave Goff at 23 for now. All right, number 24, Nick Foles. Nick Foles, he just went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Last year, he played 5 games, 1,880 yards. That's almost 1,900 yards. 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He threw a few picks last year. he's a decent game manager. I don't think he's ever going to wow you in fantasy football. I mean, he's got some guys over there. He's got some playmakers. He's got D.D. Westbrook, Keelan Cole. They got a receiver, Marquise Lee, who signed a huge $50, $60 million contract at the beginning prior to last season, and then he got hurt before the season even started, so people was kind of forgetting about him. But they got a $50 million receiver over there who didn't get to play last year, so that Marquise Lee. They got him. They got Keelan Cole, D.D. Westbrook, and in free agency they just picked up Chris Conley from the Kansas City Chiefs, so he's got some weapons. Fournette in the backfield. So, move on to number 25. That's where I got Trubisky, Mitchell Trubisky. He played 14 games last year, 3,526 yards. He had 25 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He had 430 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. He's one of them versatile guys out there. I don't really think he's real composed, and he's got a good coach, Nagy, that's good at finding ways to keep people off balance and just to keep moving the ball down the field instead of just having a drop back quarterback and just drop back, make a read and throw. He's not really expected to do that. So his coach kind of helps him out, but I got him a little lower too. I was looking at the strength of schedule, and the Bears got a rough schedule this year. And the thing is last year they had one of the top 3 easiest schedules in the league, and now this year it's the opposite. So I think he might struggle a little bit this year. All right, number 26, that's where I got Ryan Fitzpatrick right now. And Fitzpatrick just went to the Miami Dolphins, and he's got some receivers down there. And last season, Fitzpatrick played 8 games. He started 7 of them. And you remember him and Winston last year. If you put the 2 of them together, it was a top 3 quarterback. If you would add them together and just play like a team QB, they were pretty solid, really. He had 2,366 yards, 17 touchdowns, 12 picks. He's kind of like Winston, where they both threw a shitload of picks. And Fitzpatrick had 150 rushing yards, a couple rushing touchdowns too, which ain't bad. But he's going down there to Miami, and Miami let go of Tannehill. Tannehill went to Tennessee Titans. So the thing is with Fitzpatrick, he's got Kenny Stills over there, big body receiver on the outside. He's got Devontae Parker, big body receiver on the outside. 2 little guys, Jakeem Grant and Albert Wilson, both a couple little speedsters last year. Both had a couple big games here and there. So if everybody's back and healthy, and Fitzpatrick's got them 4 guys to work with, plus a rookie tight end from last year, old Mike Gesicki, he's got some weapons over there. All right, number 27, that's where I got Sam Darnold. He played 13 games last year, 2,865 yards. He had 17 touchdowns and 15 picks. So he's another guy where he threw a lot of picks. That's not real good when you got just as many picks as interceptions, or just as many picks as touchdowns. I don't really like to see that a whole lot. But Darnold's team has got a lot better. They added Le'Veon Bell in free agency. They got Robbie Anderson on the outside. Newton was coming back healthy. They picked up Jamison Crowder. They got Chris Herndon, a tight end. He's got some weapons over there. The defense is getting a little better. I think he could have a decent year, but I don't think he's going to be an every week starter by no means. All right, Eli Manning, 28 last year. He had 4,300 yards, 21 touchdowns, 10 picks, a little over 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. He's never really going to wow you, and sometimes he's really going to make you scratch your head on why you started him. And he lost Odell Beckham, but he's still got some weapons over there. They got Sterling Shepard on the outside. They got Evan Ingram at tight end. They just picked up Golden Tate to man the slot over there. Saquon Barkley, clearly. He's still got some weapons. He could still have some decent games here and there. He's a good guy for maybe... clearly he's not that good. I got him ranked at 28, but he's still serviceable in some best ball, or maybe just throughout the season here and there. I don't know. He could have some decent games, actually. He's got a decent team around him. All right, number 29, Joe Flacco. Last season he played 9 games before Lamar Jackson took the job. And the thing is he had 2,465 yards, 12-6 touchdown interceptions, so 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. That's not bad. He had some good chemistry going with John Brown last year, and he's going over there to Denver. They got Emmanuel Sanders, which I think them two would be a good combo, but I'm just worried about Emmanuel Sanders coming back off that Achilles injury. And besides, other than that, then they got Deshaun Hamilton and Cortland Sutton, that wide receiver, 2 rookies from last year. And then they got a guy named Tim Patrick. He's not too bad. And a couple tight ends, old Jake Butt and Huerman, Philip Lindsay, Freeman, and I think they let Devontae Booker go, actually. He's got some decent weapons. I'm not expecting too much out of him, but I just figured I'd go ahead and rank all the quarterbacks for y'all. All right, number 30, Ryan Tannehill, Tennessee Titans. I'm guessing that he's going to be the starting quarterback there now instead of Mariota. And Tannehill's not bad, actually. He's kind of a good game manager. He always has a decent completion percentage. He's good at short passes. He's not going to wow you and take a bunch of deep shots down the field or anything, but he's a decent game manager. Last year, Tannehill had 1,979 yards, 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. See, that's almost a 2-to-1 ratio there. That's a little better. He's not going to just get a shitload of touchdowns and tear the scoreboard up, but he's more of a guy that's going to try to help you win the game. He's, couple 250 yards, maybe a touchdown or two, but he's going to try not to turn the ball over. He's a decent quarterback. All right, number 31, Case Keenum for the Redskins. I'm guessing he's going to be a starter there, depending on what's going on with Alex Smith, Colt McCoy, and everything. But Keenum last year, he had 3,890 yards, 18 touchdowns, 15 picks, which that's not very impressive either. It's another one of them guys there. And, 2 rushing touchdowns last year. Washington, they just lost Jamison Crowder, and they lost Maurice Harris. They got a guy named Trey Quinn. They got Trey Quinn. They got Paul Richardson's a deep threat over there. They got a possession guy, Josh Doxson. Got Jordan Reed at tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle, Vernon Davis. AP, Chris Thompson, Darius Geis. They got some guys. Nothing that's really going to wow you, though. That's why I got him down there close to the end. All right, last guy right here, last guy in the league, number 32, Josh Rosen. All right, last year he played 14 games. He started 13 of them. He threw for 2,278 yards. He threw 11 touchdowns and 14 picks. It was really embarrassing for him out there. Hopefully, I really hope the best for the guy, especially, my name is Josh. His name's Josh. I'm always going to root for another Josh. That's just kind of how that goes. There's not a lot of Joshes in professional sports, if you've noticed that. So, I'm rooting for the kid. I hope he learns, hope he does a little better over there. But I'm not going to throw everything on him last year because I had David Johnson, and, I watched what was going on there. And David Johnson get handed the ball, smack. Hit in the backfield as soon as he get hit, or as soon as he get run right into the center and he's down. That offensive line was terrible last year. So, no quarterback's going to be good without a good offensive line. Peyton Manning was 0-16 his rookie season. You know what I mean? 0-16. So when a guy goes 0-16, you think that he's probably never going to do anything. So let's not count him out yet. But that's top 32. That's every quarterback in the league. I hope y'all liked them. That's what I got. It's always going to be a little bit to argue on it there for sure, but I did my best on it. I hope y'all like it. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think. And I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all again here in a couple days. Thank you.